Well, Brittany Alkonis joining us now talking about 1 year since your husband was imprisoned in Japan for a car crash, a fatal one, and he remains there today in Japan. First of all, is this where you thought you would be a year ago as you began your effort to get him released?
I really didn't. I really thought by the year mark at the latest, he would be home. So this is definitely surprising and incredibly disappointing.
Where do things stand right now, to your knowledge, on the effort to bring him back?
To my knowledge, it's still discussed. I'm told it's discussed at the highest levels. Um, but talking doesn't always get the job done, and so far it hasn't. Um, so I think it needs to be talked about more often. It needs to be talked about with urgent concern. I don't believe that more can't be done to get him home.
When you spoke to the president back in January, I guess, uh, he promised you that he would work on this. How do you feel the administration has been doing since that moment with him?
I'm grateful for the open communication that I have with them, especially with the National Security Council. I know a lot of other families that they would give anything to have that. And so while I'm grateful for that, however, the president said he'd get the job done, and it's not done. And we feel it every single day. My kids feel the absence of their father every single day. This past Saturday was my daughter's 8th birthday, and that was a particularly hard one. And I do feel a little abandoned. Just as a military family, we can't send our people overseas and then not protect them, like protect their basic human rights. And that's what I feel like's been done.
When you were in DC last, you and the kids protested out in front of the White House and anywhere else that you could get people's attention, and it seemed to work. You're back in DC now. What's your plan over the summer, the rest of the summer, I guess?
So we met with multiple members of Congress today. We met with the staff of Congressman Bacon. We met with Congressman Lalota. I'm here in Senator Lee's office now. And we are going to continue to meet with people. And it's not just about getting Rich home. It's about passing legislation and bills to protect our military families. Mr. Bacon, he is the chair of the Military Quality of Life Committee in the House. And I can tell you the quality of life in Yokosuka for our service members and their families is astonishingly poor as far as access to healthcare, mental health care, programs for our children. It's, food for people who are on WIC. It's pretty pathetic. And our service members deserve more. So I'm advocating for all military families. I'm advocating to get Rich home, and I'm advocating for amendments to the Status of Forces Agreement. Our people deserve basic human rights and basic, not special treatment. They don't deserve to not be held accountable when there's wrongdoing, but they have the right to a basic defense. They have a right to not be subjected to hostage justice. Those are just basic, universally accepted human rights. So that's what we're fighting for. And also, I'd like a meeting with the president. Last time the ask was just to get into the White House. I did. I spoke with the vice president. I spoke with Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor, but this time the ask is to meet with President Biden. So I hope that happens. I hope we get it done.
Will you be camping in front of the White House like you did last time, or are you going to take a different approach this time around?
Luckily, it is a different approach. I don't feel currently that will be necessary. We will be meeting with the National Security Advisor. I was promised that protesting would not be required this time for 61 days. I hope it's the same with the president. However, I'm willing to do what it takes. You know, I feel like at times, perhaps people are just waiting us out, thinking that maybe we'll get tired and go away. And that's just not going to happen. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the next month or so holds.
How is Ridge doing 1 year in that prison?
You know, in some ways he's doing well. In other ways, not so much. He does have good relationships with the guards. He has good relationships with the other prisoners. He's just the kind of person that's always trying to make people smile and bring a little joy to their day. And the way he put it was, anything that can make you happy is against the rules in prison. But over time, he's kind of found a way to have peace and help bring peace to the other Americans around him. I would say that, you know, for the past year, the military has just shown more and more that they don't have his back. And so there's been really moments where we've had to swallow some really tough pills, and it's especially hard for him with such limited communication to get answers to his questions. And, you know, he's not allowed to talk. There's no one he can talk to kind of process those emotions. And that's difficult. But as a whole, he's okay. He'll be okay.
Any final thoughts, Brittany, about your family's situation now, 1 year later?
You know, I would just say I am incredibly grateful to so many people that have stuck by us for the past year, the past 2 years, since the accident happened. You know, I thought there's no way that we could ask people to work so hard for so long. And it's pretty incredible to see the passion that other people have to right this wrong and to not make things better, not just for us, but for other military families in the future. And that's really what gives me hope and what kind of restores my faith in humanity, is knowing that there are individuals, there are people in the military, not the leaders, but there are people in the military that truly do care about our service members, and there are members of Congress that passionately care about our service members, that were service members themselves, and they are committing to doing what's right. And it feels like an uphill battle, and sometimes it feels like there's no way we're ever going to win. But you know, speaking with others and getting their encouraging words, it gives me hope. So things didn't happen as fast as I wanted them to. You know, we often don't get the response that I would like, but we have a lot of people in our corner, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for them.